So you're feeling all inspired and fired up and you want to add a pond at your place, but then reality bites. You realise you haven't got the space to put one in. Well, have I got the solution for you? It's a pond in a pot. Using a high-tech brushable one-pack membrane, that's waterproofing paint to you and I. You can convert just about any pot, urn or bowl into a water feature. So apart from the Wonder Paint, all you'll need for this project is a suitable pump, a waterproof putty to seal any drainage holes in the pot, and I'm going to bring some bling to our pond by adding an underwater light. Of course you'll need a suitable pot too. You can buy pots that have a waterproof internal glazing, but they're pretty pricey and the range is really limited. With this technique you can use virtually any pot that suits your decor. The one I'll be using is this big cauldron pot. Gorgeous, isn't it? Start by checking the instructions on your paint for info such as surface preparation, how to apply, number of coats and the curing time. And don't forget to follow all the safety instructions that are on the label. Clean your pot based on those directions. At the very least it'll need a good scrub and then rinse it out thoroughly a couple of times. Once your pot's dry, seal any drainage holes. I'm using a 2-part putty. It comes in a stick and you just knead it to blend and then you plug the hole and let it set. It only takes around 60 minutes to cure. I have heard it recommended that you feed the power lead for your pump through one of the drainage holes and then putty it in place. Personally, I think that's a seriously bad idea. Over time, as the lead jiggles around, it's too likely to create a leak. And then if your pump fails, what are you going to do? You'll have to reseal that whole area as you pull the lead out. Once the putty is set, it's painting time. Use a brush or roller, whichever suits you best, and just make sure you get even and complete coverage over the entire surface you need sealed. I almost always use black paint in water features. It creates the illusion of greater depth, kind of like they're bigger on the inside. I've got to let that paint cure thoroughly before I give it a second coat, so excuse me while I entertain myself. Before you decide on the final position of your pond pot, and this is particularly important if you're planning on putting it on a balcony or a deck, you need to consider the weight of the finished water feature. My pot alone weighs over 50 kilos. By measuring and multiplying the height, by the depth, by the width, I was able to do a rough volume calculation. It worked out at about 0.25 of a cubic metre. There are 1,000 litres in a cubic metre, and a litre of water weighs 1 kilogram. So my pot will have a water weight of around 250 kilograms. My extras will then add around another 20 kilos. That means my pond pot is going to weigh in at over 320 kilos. That's well over a quarter of a metric tonne. Obviously not something you want to park in the corner of a timber deck. All sealed and dry. Now the very important step of getting it level. Check side to side, front to back and diagonally. Once that's sorted, it's in with the pump. Now the decision you face is what you want to do with your water output. In the pump's box you'll likely find all manner of fittings to allow you to have any number of fountain heads such as a traditional sprinkler style or a contemporary water bell. For ours, I'm going to convert this beautiful old sandstone grinding wheel. At this point you may need to add some extra flexible pipe or a rigid riser pipe. Now it's time to fill your pot with water. Make sure you don't take your water level up above the area that you applied your sealant to. Now you can plug your pump in, turn it on and make any adjustments to the water flow to get it the way you want it. And there you have it, a pond in a pot.